There's quite a lot of floor room in the tent. This is a sleeping pad in size large, and the length is regular. As you can see, there's quite a lot of room left around the sleeping pad, and the foot end it's a little bit more narrow. But up here it's wider, and there's quite a lot of room for your stuff. It's maybe a little bit difficult to see, but the tent is wider up in the top. The trekking poles are bending outward, so it makes it much easier when you have to put on a jacket. Let me show you. That was easy. The zippers are waterproof and well working. It's a two-way zipper, and if you try to take both of the zippers around this corner, it's a little bit difficult, but with only one, it's much better. For some reason, the zippers from the outside, it needs two hands. That's not so good. The loop is slightly elastic, so it's quite easy, much easier than on a big Agnes tent. Gossamer Gear have really put a lot of thought into ventilation. There are an opening like this in both ends. The netting is well protected by this overhang. On the opposite side of the vestibule there's a huge ventilation opening, and it also acts like a small window. With a line attached to this tie-out point, there's plenty of room between the quilt and the outer fabric. There's plenty of space here. It really helps with these tie-out points. Up here there's a clothesline where I have attached my headlamp. Maybe you can see how wide the tent is up here. There's just so much space. It's just amazing. You have to use at least 6 tent stakes to set up the tent. Then you can add 2 more for tying out the side walls, and add 4 more stakes if you want to tie out the bathtub floor. The tent comes with 8 of these no-name tent stakes. Maybe they are a little bit boring, so I changed them for 4 Vargo titanium tent stakes, lightweight, and 4 of these DAC aluminium tent stakes that I know are very robust and reliable. Here you can see how the tent looks if you do not tie down the bathtub floor. The wind gets it. It's not a huge problem, but it's a little bit of a mess. Instead of using a tent peg here, I have attached some elastic line that I can put around the tent peg so it will hold the bathtub floor. When you look on Gossamer Gear's website, it's a little unclear how much the tent weighs. It's not that the numbers not are correct, but you are a little bit unclear about what is the total weight of the tent, including all the accessories. I am only bringing one trekking pole and one of Gossamer Gear's tent poles, of course to save some weight, but also because I'm only using one trekking pole when I'm hiking. And then there are my choice of tent stakes and of course my elastic lines. A stuff sack for the tent and the stakes, and then there are the different lines and of course a cloth, and that gives you a total weight of 852 grams. You could just use 2 tent poles and 6 titanium stakes, and that could save you 139 grams, something to consider. Almost lying down flat here, but it is really struggling. But this is rock solid. There's not so much space to take up your wet clothes. You have to like sit halfway in the inner tent. It is essential with a towel. There will be some wetness in the tent. I'm all wet and yeah, a little bit of a mess. Now the wind really picked up. I drove home with mixed feelings. Not only was the tent broken, but my hike in just 2 days also impossible. I called Peter from Outdoor Line in Slovakia, and I had to send him an email with a picture of the broken tent. Half an hour later I received a text message from DHL stating that my package would arrive within 24 hours.
Clear. Launch takeoff. Heavy power, maintain 9,000. Maintain 9,000 from cargo.
Thanks Outdoor Line. Great customer service. The snow is melting when it hits you, so I was completely wet. But I have dried everything up inside of the tent, and yeah, to be honest, it's freezing cold. Now it's turned into ice, but during the night it was really wet from condensation. Up here it's not frozen, it's wet. And you can see the snow load have made the tent smaller, so I've been pushing up against the fabric during the night. I like the clothesline here so I can dry out my socks, and as you can see I have attached the backpack to the trekking poles so I can have my wet rain gear on the outside. Normally I hike in a 2-person tent, and here you can see how much space I have to manage my things and my camera gear. Because of the weather situation, I knew that there will be some problems with condensation, so I left the netting door open to get some more ventilation. But I must say that the issues with the condensation in this tent during these circumstances is really a huge problem. Now I have to take down the camp and put on my frozen and wet rain gear. I'm not looking forward to that. Using a stick makes for much more room inside of the tent. Good morning. It has been quite a comfortable night. There have been no rain or snow. Everything is dry. During the night I checked for condensation, and there was some frozen condensation. But now there's only minor condensation, and I think that is quite acceptable for a single wall tent. There's some water and snow coming from the trees, so I really like that the trekking poles are bending outward. The tent is a little bit wet from yesterday's camp, but there's a nice breeze here, so I think it will dry out quickly. The wind is coming from this direction, so I will have the foot end here. I'm using aluminium pole in one of the sides and only one trekking pole, and that's because I want to save some weight. The wind is coming from this side, so it's possible to put it close to the ground so there will be not so much draft in the tent. I like the color of the tent. It's very good for stealth camping. Good morning. I have had a really good night's sleep in the tent, and this time I think I got really the perfect pitch. And also this night I woke up and saw this frosty condensation on the fabric. And down here it's forming into small droplets hitting me in the head. So I think no matter what you do, there will be condensation in this tent. I have dried it out now, and with the breeze there's no condensation now. So it's just something you have to live with this tent. There's no way around it. I'm in a forest north of Copenhagen. It's called Gribskov, and I'm stealth camping. The weather is just perfect. It has been dry for like 1 week, and it's quite warm for spring day, and there's a slight breeze, and we are high in the terrain, so I really hope that we can beat the condensation issues this time. No condensation, completely dry. I guess you by now know my strong feelings about condensation, but there are many good things to be said about this tent. The weight of the Gossamer Gear The One was the main reason for me for buying this tent. And I also appreciate how easy it is to set up and the small footprint of the tent, so it's always easy to find a suitable place for the tent. I have for many years been using the big Agnes Spur tent series in the 2-person and the 3-person version.
Is there more coffee?
Yes.
Nice.
I like the tent very much. It's roomy and very reliable. But most of the time I'm hiking alone, so the weight of the tent has really been an issue for me. And if you also are considering bringing a trekking pole, I think the weight of the Gossamer Gear The One is very good. One of the things that I really like about the tent is the overall build quality. The craftsmanship of this tent is really good, and there are some very fine details. That was all from me, so I'll just say thank you very much for watching the video.